Then, of course, the incident that we spoke about last week, the Prophet ﷺ going around on the days of Hajj, looking for an audience from all of these people that are traveling to him, and he doesn't look past these 6 young men. Amongst them was As'ad ibn Zurarah, radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, and he speaks to them about Islam. And even the way the Prophet ﷺ addresses them, he says, "Are you the allies of the Jews from Medina?" And they say, "Yes." And the Prophet ﷺ says, "Sit, let me talk to you a bit." And their response was, what? "Let us precede them in embracing this Prophet. Let's hasten and embrace this Prophet. We knew a Prophet was coming. Let's hasten and embracing this Prophet." And of the 6, there's always got to be one person that takes the lead, right? 6 people could be feeling good about themselves and about the situation, but you're naturally going to look towards your leader. As'ad radiallahu ta'ala anhu is that leader. As'ad is the one that verbalizes what everyone is feeling. As'ad is the one that is trusted amongst them, even though he's the youngest one. They're all kind of looking at him to see how he's receiving this message from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And As'ad radiallahu ta'ala anhu, imagine, subhanallah, the one who guides to good. Dalu ala al-khayr, kafa'ilihi, is like the one who does. As'ad is the first one to extend his belief to the Prophet ﷺ and to extend his allegiance to the Prophet ﷺ. So he said 6 people, these 6 young men, start this motion, right? And then they bring how many people to take a pledge with the Prophet ﷺ? The first bay'ah. 12. I want you to remember this. So 6 becomes 12 in total. These 12 take their pledge with the Prophet ﷺ. They say, "Send with us someone to teach us Islam." Okay, the Prophet ﷺ sends Mus'ab, very good, radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, to Al-Madinah. They come back and they are in the second bay'ah. This is when they're the group of 70 taking the second bay'ah of Al-Aqaba with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the khatib of the Ansar of that day, the spokesperson, is none other than this man. In fact, when you read the narrations of Siyar, a lot of times you hear someone standing up and someone addressing them. The one that is telling them, if you read the long narration of Jabir radiallahu ta'ala anhu, Muslim Imam Ahmad, the one who is standing up and addressing them and saying to them, "Look, Khazraj and Aus, you understand that by taking in this man, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, all of your ties with the Arabs in Mecca and with all of the external forces are now severed. They're all going to come after you. You're going to lose everything of this world." And basically he's saying to them, he actually verbalized it, if you're going to walk away now. It's better with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't take this pledge on and then abandon and forsake your Prophet. If you're going to do this, do it now. What do we get in return? Al-Jannah, paradise. And he's the first one to extend his hand to the Prophet ﷺ, again, to reaffirm that bay'ah, and the people follow As'ad radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. Now, subhanAllah, just think about how much is resting on the shoulders of this 19-year-old. It really is a remarkable thought. And you wonder why Al-Abbas radiallahu anhu was like, "I'm not so sure about this. I'm not so sure I can hand you over to these people, Ya Rasulullah, sallallahu alaihi wasallam." But with such confidence, with such love, expressing the best sentiments of the Ansar. And on that day, the Prophet ﷺ, out of the 70, he divided them into groups and he appointed 12 naqibs, 12 nuqaba, 12 leaders now. So they're now apportioned into 12 groups, okay? As'ad is assigned as the naqib of Banu Najjar, as the leader of Banu Najjar. So again, it was 6 men, then it was 12, and now it is 70. But of course, they're coming back from a place, in Medina now, where they've established Islam in the hearts of many people. What is happening in between the two? If you go back and you watch the lecture of Mus'ab ibn Umayr radiallahu ta'ala anhu, As'ad radiallahu anhu is the one who hosts Mus'ab, who's about 21 years old, in Yathrib, right? In his home, and sets the scene for him. He tells him, that's the man you have to talk to, Usayd ibn Hudayr, you got to go convince him. Brings the different leaders of Medina, calms them down so that Mus'ab radiallahu ta'ala anhu can do his da'wah. So Mus'ab in this way represents the spirit of the Muhajirin. As'ad is the representative of the Ansar. introducing him to the leaders, getting him to the homes that he needs to go to, setting up the places for him to give his da'wah. SubhanAllah, imagine how much barakah was following those two men. Imagine how many angels were following those two men, going around the city and setting the stage until they brought Islam to all of the homes. Some accepted, most of them accepted, and some rejected and stayed on their own ways. But they taught Islam to all of these different people.